Look at the primordial state of the universe. Before physical laws, before localized matter, there is only an undifferentiated, chaotic field of potential. Verses 41:10 through 41:13 of the Quran present an exact execution log, a 6-day initialization sequence. The structure of this sequence requires a strict mathematical architecture, one where physical reality emerges through the execution of systemic, rule-based logic. If reality operates as a system, then physical existence becomes a mechanistic process governed by unbreakable code. That code runs on a highly specific framework, the dual caustic universe. Every transformation is governed by a closed-loop protocol, the 2-3-7 sequence. 2 is the operator for binary split. 3 is triadic formation, where oscillation begins. 7 is structural completion, the boundary locking the system in place. This sequence drives the 6 days of creation. We find this exact same algorithm behind the Prophet Ibrahim's experiment with 4 scattered birds in verse 2-60. This points toward a unified computational grammar, linking the macroscopic birth of the cosmos to the microscopic actions of a prophet. We can trace this execution log sequentially. Phase 1 begins in verse 41:10, describing an initial 2-day period dedicated to Earth's baseline mass computation. To establish spatial resolution, the system anchors the corners of this mass. The text defines these as mountains, rigid parameters fixing the physical coordinate space. The timeline is precise: 2 initial days for the mass, plus 2 days for measuring provisions, completing a foundational 4-day cycle. This generates a protective buffer layer across the domain. This baseline provides the stability required for the system to safely receive the high-energy input of the coming command. While the Earth plane is established, verse 41:11 identifies the heavens as existing in a state of Dukhān, or smoke. In information theory, this smoke is an undifferentiated quantum superposition, a mixed state potential of light and sound, holding all data without localized structure. As pure suspended potential, it requires an active measurement to collapse into physical reality. That measurement occurs through the divine command, piercing the system with a singular instruction: come, willingly or by compulsion. This triggers the 3773 wave collapse. It starts with the central call, executing operator 3 to initiate interaction. The system tracks a dual response. Heaven compresses downward into state 7. Earth identically responds by ascending into state 7. These locked vectors establish the ultimate operational equation, the bidirectional law of energy exchange. This single synchronized field differentiation event collapses abstract potential into absolute physical architecture. In verse 2-60, Ibrahim observes this exact wave collapse algorithm executed on a human scale. Ibrahim is instructed to fragment 4 birds, the algorithmic equivalent to the 4-day Earth provision computation. Placing the fragments on mountains perfectly matches the 4 cosmic anchors establishing the buffer layer. Ibrahim's vocal call to the birds is the functional equivalent to the cosmic command at pierced the Dukhān. The rapid return of the birds is the 3773 entropy reversing convergence, pulling the fragmented data back to the center. The symmetry provides the evidence. These prophetic miracles are localized demonstrations of the cosmic operating system's baseline code. Returning to the macro sequence, we reach phase 5 in verse 41:12. The final 2 days of creation follow the central call. The collapsed smoke is structurally ordered into 7 distinct layers of heaven, each assigned its own physical laws. This phase executes the 7-2 operator, which permanently seals the light layer of the system. Sealing the upper dimensions protects the hardware against entropy, allowing the Earth buffer to function indefinitely. 2 Earth days, the 3773 wave collapse, 2 heaven days. The 6-day sequence compiles into a flawless thermodynamic matrix, but verse 4113 introduces a terminus. A strict binary judgment awaits any entity attempting to bypass the structure. The code contains no 7th day of rest. The 7th node is the output state, the present moment. Verse 1912 defines your standing point inside this engine. You are instructed to take hold of the book with strength. The dual caustic universe is operational. You will either align to the code and photosynthesize the light, or act as thermal entropy and burn as fuel within the machine.